So at this point, you did the sync all on your tablet to move the Scott and Marie data into Salesforce. So we're going to go into the Scott customer and make several edits to your proposal. We're going to show you how to open the option, edit the name, add a line item, edit line items, remove certain line items, edit the margin, and add a section of text. So these are all things that you may end up needing to do. So let's just say that I ran this appointment with Scott. We had a great time together, but I did not land the job in the home. And now, after having a follow-up call, there are certain things that I need to do to his proposal. I don't have to send this back down to the tablet to make these changes. So let's find the Scott customer, and I want to make sure that I'm on the customer. So there's my Scott training customer that we created. Now you'll notice under the customer record there's a details sections, which is details about the job itself, or about the customers themselves. And then there's a related section. I want to click over to the related section. Under the related section, I can see the projects that are associated with this customer, appointments, contacts, any files that I've put in. I want specifically to get into the project, so let's click on the project number. And when I'm looking at the project number, let's first take an overall look at this project. I can see that this is related to this customer. I have a details page, which over on the right-hand side, I can see the project page. I could right-click on the floor plan image and copy it. I could click here and watch the inspection video. So there's some interesting stuff over here that might become useful later. I also notice there's some chevrons across the top of the project that indicate sort of a progression in time, but I'm not there yet either. I also notice here I've got details, related, debrief. So let's click on the related tab because I want to see the options that are related to this project. So now I'm 3 levels deep, and I want to look at this option number, this option that we wrote for PG3. So this is where I would come in to open this option, but before I do this, I want to change the name of it. So PG3 was fine for yesterday, but now I want to open this up and I want to give it a little more meat. So if I click on this drop down, I hit edit, and now I can change the option. So it was PG3, but what Scott was really interested in was a carpet known as Winner's Choice. And he was interested in Winner's Choice 3. So let's save that. And now you'll see it has changed the option name. So now let's open that. And we can take a look at this proposal. So we have all the things that you would expect in a carpet job. I've got soft surface freight, carpet, there's the courage pad, standard furniture move, transition strip, install transitions, everything that's here that, and maybe some things that shouldn't be here. So one of the things that I missed when we were in the home yesterday is that Scott is actually going to need a little bit of subfloor work. Maybe not normal for a carpet job, but in this case there was some stuff that we're going to have to do, and I'm going to call it subfloor work. So I can click this button that says New Line Item, and I'm simply going to look under Labor, and I'm looking for subfloor work. And I'm just going to call this Basic Subfloor Prep. At the bottom, this is very similar to what you see in the tablet. I don't need the whole space, but I need about 50 square feet worth of subfloor prep, and no waste factor on that. So I hit submit. And now you can see that the subfloor prep has been added. So that's great. I've added the line that I needed to add. But there's some line items here that need to be edited. So one of the things that I found as I was coming back and really taking a hard look at this proposal is, things like furniture move. Well, I don't need a waste factor on furniture move. And I don't feel like I'm going to need a 10% waste factor on the carpet cushion. So there's some things in here that I want to change. So if I click on the Edit Section button, you'll notice everything that it opens up in a box can be changed. So let's say, for example, on my Courage carpet cushion, I decide that, you know what, I'm going to risk it, and I'm going to put 0 waste factor there. It's going to save a little bit of money for him. On the furniture move, I definitely don't need any waste on that. Removal and haul away we'll get back to. I've also realized that, you know what, this proposal says PG3 carpet, but I really want to make this professional looking, so I'm going to go ahead and call this Winner's Choice 3, since I know that that's what we were talking about. And so I can change the name of it. Obviously, it doesn't change the code, but at least now when Scott is looking at his proposal, he's going to see the actual carpet name that we talked about. And this basic subfloor prep line that I added, well, now let's be a little bit more specific about what that is. So this is going to be a repair to the subfloor in the hallway. We can save that. So as I'm going back through this proposal and I realize, hey, you know what? This is a carpet job and I'm going up against other carpet. I don't really need the transition strip and I don't need to install a transition. So from here, I can simply click on the delete, and that's going to take that line out. And delete the install transition. So one other thing that I want to do is down at the bottom, I've got a total price now of $1968. And one of the things that Scott told me is if I can get this just under $1,900, we've got a deal. So you can decide what you want to do with that information. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and just trim the margin a little bit. And I'm going to click on Edit Totals. And let's say that I drop this down to, I didn't do the math ahead of time, so let's try 47 and see what that does. And now at 47, you know what? I might be able to do this at 48. So let's change it again. 48. Very nice. So now I've got a total for Scott of $1892.75. One other thing that I want to do is I want to add a section of text down here. So Scott and I talked about several things that needed to be done in the house. And one of the things that he mentioned was that he was going to move the large aquarium that's in that's in one of those bedrooms. So under furniture moving as a section, I'm going to hit Edit Section, Customer agreed to move fish tank from the bedroom. Because any promise that I've made to the customer, I want it to be documented, but any promise that the customer made to me, I want that to be documented as well. So now we've got that documented in the proposal, and I can take this proposal back to Scott and see if we can't get this job landed.